we will see our starting parts nearly lower back to 13. Truly, we are not meandering into the realness of these hypotheses these days. For the most crazy part, since the incalculable nearby close by has at this point apparent, that our strategy of spotlights on this universe starts off the huge influence. The mind that succeeded the huge impact is other than laid out on a practically identical common sign of this first involvement in the field. With the exceptional instance of in the event that you're a nerd who has gone through hours looking at dazzling impressions of the massive bang. To be fair, the occasion changed into an overabundance of an impact in an approach to talking. Generally put, the tremendous blast saw as its spot to start in a solitary part, a point that was ad infinitum hot and thick. Similarly, improved to past ridiculous lengths, all of this passed off while the universe was inconceivably vigorous. In all honesty, at the hour of the broad impact, the universe was truly 10 to the force of 34 seconds old. That is 1 centesimal of a billionth of a trillionth of a second in age. This is where the universe encountered a stunning effect of progress, regardless recommended as the inconceivable impact. Then again, the progression during this technique, space extended quicker than the speed of light. Our universe changed into being stacked with each molecule we found out about in our science class. Protons, neutrons, electrons, foes of electrons, photons, and neutrinos. The presence of the gigantic impact is remarkable while orally, it appears yet the way that we decipher the universe's show is astoundingly theoretical. We've made basic headway starting from the boss moon landing and starting then and into the foreseeable future, our mechanical advancement has advanced solidly. Right now, that specialists were focusing on the Titanic impact, it depended upon mathematical recipes and sensible plans. They couldn't have ever potentially assessed that we would review the jeopardize of life on Mars. There have been fundamental pushes to our greatest advantage to separate the universe and analyze space. Yet, at the day's end, our dying edge progression is very restricted. We can't emulate the gigantic blast or peer back at the authentic occasion. Our best piece of proof comes from the colossal microwave foundation which has permitted analysts to see the reverberating of the huge effect. While this instrument is profound in the appraisal of the universe, it is other than hypothetically restricted. So while our complete history lays on speculative models, real speculations have a gigantic degree to be subverted. We are very nearly 100% about the tremendous blast as the beginning of our universe. Still, there are a few repercussions we have confounded speculations about our universe. They are overall around spread out on data shelter human mess up a piece of our records is likewise fundamentally conclusive about the gigantic bang. It is awkward to malign the hypothesis as the hypothesis is that our universe is as anyway expanding. Our premier device in exploring the immense impact has been the Hubble Space Telescope and by what's more, by everybody's consideration is on the momentous accuracy of the James Webb Space Telescope. As of now, we utilized these burglarized solid innovative units. One of the most addressed subjects in tremendous assessment was the universe's progress. Assuming you check out at course readings from the mid-1990s, you'd find conversations about how the universe is loosening up. While the universe is growing, we couldn't absolutely understand what the extension of the universe incorporates. The James Webb Space Telescope has brought us new disclosures that propose the universe has finished widening. This consistent day, eminent occasion, construes that our enthusiasm for the universe's way could have to change. At present, keeping on hopping into the repercussions of this outstanding improvement from our universe's course, we ought to check out at our impression of this frustrating capriciousness regardless of anything else. The boundless usage of the terms of impact and headway, the creation of the universe wasn't precisely there for specialists. Recognized that our enthusiasm for the universe ought to make as exhibited by NASA, the universe didn't meander into space as there was no such thing as space ahead of time. Rather, it's more astute to consider the enormous blast as the synchronous appearance of room anyplace inside the universe. Our wisdom uncovers that our universe has encountered areas of sufficiency for per period angry about the coarse power of activity of room. At first, the universe was absolutely dull and faint until heaps of gas changed over into stars and cosmic systems. Really, at that time, did the universe emerge from its grandiose weak ages? Here's a piece inconsistent truth. Our close-by planetary group seemed 9 billion years after the gigantic impact. Space has been extending out over the long anteroom containing matter with its dynamic headway. To put it surely, the universe isn't loosening up in the manner by which we envision or handle. The unique extending out of space goes ahead. The development of the universe to the degree that we might be stressed. No matter what the reality that understanding it is tangled, it is essential to handle the delayed consequences of what we will make sense of. For this video, we'll keep utilizing the term headway of the universe to suggest the strong expansion of our space. Essentially considering the way that even experts use the outlining to depict the new divulgence made by the James Webb Space Telescope, the revelation that the universe has quit creating is both astonishing and clashing with our past hypothetical figuring out. Analysts were persuaded that the universe was reaching out at a sped-up rate since its early phase. They had assembled gigantic proof utilizing the Hubble Space Telescope. So this isn't NASA reevaluating its past seeing. Rather, it is a totally new event that is authentic, irreversible. While the disclosure is fundamental, it is not out of the ordinary. Discussing gravity, our universe was perseveringly arranged to a recollapse if it had a sizable proportion of energy thickness. The improvement would stop totally, and our universe could go in reverse to plunge into this. We start with dull energy, which returns to the 1990s. NASA and its specialists had a couple of unequivocal thoughts concerning the universe's improvement, with gravity being the foremost unit. However, the speed of the universe improvement ought to have moved back after at some point observational information showed the converse. In 1998, the Hubble Space Telescope uncovered that the universe was loosening up at a speeding up rate. This was in protection from what was at that point known, delineating that gravity alone couldn't give off an impression of being genuine of the quicker speed increase. Specialists proposed dull energy as the force causing the speed extension in hatred of the way that we have hardly any comprehension into it. Dull energy makes up a colossal piece of our universe, while conventional matter essentially incorporates around 5%. Given the presence of faint energy, why has our universe halted extending? Experts are as of now finding out about this characteristic. Assuming we take a gander at the duel among gravity and dull energy, one probability is that gravity is eventually overpowering weak energy, halting the universe's progression. Then again, gravity might have begun diminishing the impacts of dull energy. Suddenly, we need gigantic observation, also speculative confirmation to legitimize changes in how gravity functions along with the universe. 2 or 3 scientists like Brian Cox have considered the consummation of the universe. As shown by Cox, the end may come in faint absence of definition as the universe contracts. It would take around 6 billion years for this to occur, and we could see the sun cool off, furthermore the universe separate into a single faint opening. In cosmology, one critical subject is the universe's indisputable future, which incorporates the plausibility of the giant crunch. This occasion happens when the universe's thickness is adequate to stop its extension and start contracting emphatically. Understudied, we can anticipate the completion of the universe assuming gravity turns out to be areas of strength for incredibly could cut through the surface of spacetime, making the universe break down onto itself. Here is the continuation and completing of the splash text. On the off chance that gravity goes out to be exceptionally astonishing, it could slice through the surface of spacetime, causing the universe to fall onto itself. As the universe gets, the boundless structures, stars, and planets will move closer together, in the end provoking a circumstance where all matter joins into a solitary limitlessly thick point, like the state before the enormous blast. This hypothesis, known as the enormous crunch, suggests that the universe's improvement won't proceed interminably. Taking everything into account, it will reverse, completing the cycle in an endless breakdown. Anyway, ever this remains theoretical. Also, advancing discernments and data from instruments like the James Webb Space Telescope will be principal in refining our seeing. No matter what the disturbing consequences of these hypotheses, they highlight the dynamic and ever-changing nature of the universe. Our data on the universe is persistently creating, driven by imaginative types of progress and new disclosures. As we proceed to research and study the universe, we could uncover more about the significant powers molding our universe and its authoritative fate. While the likelihood that the universe has quit developing is both upsetting and moderate, it means that the gigantic requests by the manner in which we may decipher the universe. The exchange among gravity and faint energy stays one of the most unmistakable mysteries in present-day space science. As we accumulate more data and refine our speculations, we draw closer to loosening up the secretive idea of our universe and its basic ideas for the future. We will see our starting competitors nearly lower back to 13. Truly, we are not meandering into the genuineness of these hypotheses these days. For the most amazing aspect, since the tremendous region area has at this moment perceived that our blueprint of core interests on this universe starts off the tremendous influence. The cerebrum that succeeded the massive impact is other than laid out on a relative normal sign of the primary involvement in the field. Yet, if you're a nerd who has gone through hours checking out really impacted marvelous viewpoints on the massive impact, to be direct, the occasion changed into an overabundance of an impact in an approach to talking. Basically put, the tremendous blast saw as its spot to start in a specific part, a point that was include blade, hot and thick, and improved to ludicrous lengths. All of this passed off while the universe was unimaginably youthful. Truth be told, at the hour of the wide impact, the universe was really 10 to the force of 34 seconds old. That is 1 centesimal of a billionth of a trillionth of a second in progress. In years, here the universe experienced an surprising effect of progress by and large recommended as the dishonorable impact or the progression during this technique. Space expanded quicker than the speed of light. Our universe changed into being stacked with each particle we found out about in our science class. Protons, neutrons, electrons, adversaries of electrons, photons, and neutrinos. The presence of the enormous blast, major areas of strength for its analogy, as it appears, yet the way that we decipher the universe's show is astoundingly hypothetical. We've made basic headway starting from the first moon landing, likewise starting there forward. Our mechanical advancement has advanced unequivocally. Right when specialists were focusing on the immense blast, it depended upon mathematical recipes and unsurprising styles they would never have perhaps assessed that we would examine the jeopardies of life on Mars. There have been fundamental moves in our benefit to look at the universe also, analyze space, but regardless of everything, at the day's end, our very front improvement is very restricted. We can't repeat the Goliath blast or, on the other hand, peer back at the veritable occasion. Our best piece of check comes from the pompous Microwave Foundation, which has permitted specialists to see the reverberating of the gigantic effect while this instrument is notable in the appraisal of the universe. It is, as well, hypothetically restricted. So while our complete history lays on speculative models, consistent speculations have a colossal scope to be sabotaged. We are nearly sure about the enormous impact as the beginning of our universe. Still, there are a couple of repercussions. We have confused theories about our universe. They are everything thought of as laid out on data inclined to human misunderstanding. A piece of our records is, moreover, extraordinarily authoritative about the huge bang. It is advantageous to negate the hypothesis. The universe is a huge and baffling place loaded up with vast marvels and mysteries, prepared to be unraveled. From the tiniest subatomic particles to the largest frameworks, there is a particularly enormous sum about the universe that we presently can't seem to see completely. One of the most enchanting portions of the universe is its conclusive fate. Will it continue expanding perpetually, or will it in the end break down in on itself in a catastrophic event known as the immense crunch? Scientists have been thinking about these requests for quite a while, and remembering that we have acquired basic progress in our comprehension, there is still a ton of we don't acknowledge. One hypothesis recommends that the universe will continue to develop for eternity, little by little becoming colder and hazier as stars wear out and universes float separated. In this circumstance, the universe will in the end turn into a fruitless and void with no life or light. One more opportunity is that gravity will in the end overcome the expansion of the universe, making it crush down spirit in on itself. This would prompt a blasting end known as the enormous crunch, where all matter is stuffed into a lone spot of unending thickness. Clearly, these are just speculations, and the genuine fate of the universe remains dubious. Yet, no matter what happens ultimately, one thing is clear. The universe is a dynamic and ever-changing place loaded with magnificence and miracles past our most staggering personalities.